The cold morning air over Busan carried more than mist. It carried tension. For the first time in 6 years, Donald Trump and Xi Jinping stood face to face. Behind the cameras, aides whispered and calculated, knowing every word could shift the global balance. The handshake lasted just seconds, but symbolized the potential end of a decade of hostility. For Washington, it was a chance to restore trade advantage. For Beijing, it was a move to buy time and to read America's next play. The U.S. and China had not always been rivals. Trade once connected their destinies. But by 2018, tariffs and sanctions turned cooperation into confrontation. Trump's America First collided with Xi's Chinese dream. Each saw strength not in partnership, but in dominance. Yet now, both faced slowing economies and restless citizens. The world had changed, and the old strategies no longer worked. Behind closed doors, the two leaders discussed numbers that could shake global markets. Trump demanded tariff cuts, claiming America had been robbed for decades. Xi offered gradual relief, but only if technology restrictions eased. The soy and semiconductor negotiations became silent weapons in a modern economic war. Both leaders smiled for the cameras, but each knew compromise meant weakness. The handshake was public, the mistrust eternal. Among economic talk, one issue struck deeper: fentanyl. The synthetic drug flooding American streets had roots in Chinese production networks. Xi promised tighter control, calling it a humanitarian commitment, not a concession. Trump framed it as a victory, another deal only he could make. But experts warned, real change takes enforcement, not applause. In this war, both sides sought headlines, not healing. The true battlefield was invisible, fought in code, chips, and satellites. The U.S. restricted exports of advanced semiconductors, aiming to cripple China's tech rise. Beijing responded with its own bans on rare earth materials. Now, both leaders tested how far the world could stretch without snapping. Each nation feared dependence, yet needed the other to survive. In Busan, they smiled, but the tech war burned hotter than ever. Both economies were showing cracks. Inflation in the U.S. slowed exports in China. Each leader needed a win for his people. Investors watched every movement, reading markets like tea leaves. The Busan summit became not diplomacy, but theater, each line written for domestic eyes. Promises were made, timelines blurred. For the global economy, stability was still an illusion. Taiwan remained the ghost in the room. Neither Trump nor Xi dared to make it the headline, but every pause, every look carried its weight. U.S. ships still sailed the South China Sea. China still shadowed them. Both sides pretended stability, but prepared for the unthinkable. Diplomacy here was theater of silence. Sometimes the most dangerous words are the ones never spoken. As the summit ended, reporters called it a breakthrough. But those who study power knew. Peace built on optics never lasts. The U.S. gained headlines. China gained time. Both sides returned home claiming victory. Both fearing the next move. In the quiet of Busan's evening, the world held its breath once more. History may not remember this handshake, but it will remember what followed.